Hi, I'm Ryan, and today I'm going to talk to you about dashes. Yep, I said dashes. There's more than one, and this is tricky. Now, the three of them are called the hyphen, the n dash, and the m dash. Those are the main three you can work with. Now, the first one is the hyphen. This is the shortest one and the most commonly used, mainly because it's the easiest to access on your keyboard. But the hyphen actually has a really specific use. It's actually only used to link words together. Now, it's still essential because if you say something like, he made a first-class decision, you need to hyphenate that first class because it means he made a really good decision. First class has been treated as one word. If you remove that hyphen and it turns into he made a first-class decision, the separate words make it sound like you're talking about something different, like he made the first decision for the class or something like that. So the hyphen's important there. But that's the only way it's used, to link words together that need to be treated as one word. The next dash is the n dash, spelt E-N. Now, it's actually called that simply because it's meant to be the width of a lowercase n. They weren't imaginative with their naming here. Now, the n dash also has a very specific example, and that's used to, well, in place of the word to, actually. But only in length. So if I say I'm going to be at a meeting from 9 to 10, you can actually write that I'm going to be in a meeting from 9 n-10. And now when you use an n-, you don't use a space either side of it either. You can also use it to talk about trains or buses. So I'm going to jump on the Ballarat to Melbourne train, and you can write that I'm going to jump on the Ballarat n-Melbourne train. That sort of thing. But that's the only way the n dash is used, to mark in place of to. And the final one is the m dash. And this is actually the dash that most people mean to use when they insert a dash into their text. Again, like the n dash, this is named the m dash because it's the width of a lowercase m. You can see they didn't strain any brain muscles with that one. But it's used in place of a comma or instead of brackets or to mark off extra information. So when you're writing a sentence and you want to mark off extra information but you need a bigger pause than a comma, or you need to make the information very clear and important, you use an m dash instead. So I went to see Eamon, m dash, he lives in E building, m dash, about the videos. That's probably the clearest way to use the m dash. One of the reasons the dashes are so tricky to use, and the n dash and m dash particularly, is because they're hard to make on a keyboard. So on a Windows machine, you have to push Control minus on the numpad to get the n dash and Control Alt minus on the numpad to get the m dash. You can also go to the symbols menu and select them that way, and they are called the n dash and m dash, so they're nice and easy to insert there. On a Mac, you have to push Alt hyphen or Alt Shift hyphen for the m dash. So those are the two ways to make them on the keyboard. Now the thing is, while I've sort of outlined the way we use them here, that's typical Australian English, and you're going to see these dashes used differently everywhere, from when you read a book to even other universities. They'll use them different ways. Now we here use Australian English in accordance with the Australian Style Manual, which is released by the government, so it's all very official and formal Australian English, which is fun. But don't be too confused if you see them used different ways in other places. It's not as rigid as it sounds, unfortunately. So other places might use the n dash in place of an m dash. Some people might use the hyphen for all of these things, just so that they are using the same dash and they don't have to try and remember which dash they're meant to be using. Even novel to novel, when you're reading books, we'll use them differently. So it can be a little hard to get your head around. So don't blame yourself if you mix that one up. That's it for dashes. Good luck trying to remember all three. And if you need any other help with punctuation, you can check out our other videos.